20, right, 1.5 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the No Bones podcast. We are here to give you a little preview show of UFC 309 happening this weekend in New York City. And it's finally here, the return of Bones Jones, whichever you want to call him, John Jones. He's coming back up against Stipe Miocic, who's been out for about 25 years waiting for this fight to come around. His last fight being a hell of a long time ago against a guy he's gone on to do some other things since then, and he's not exactly in UFC anymore, but he's making a bit of a name for himself, old Francis. But yes, it's John Jones against Stipe Miocic. That's where we're going to start, and it's been a long time coming, Chris, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I mean, if you rewind pretty much a year back from, well, it won't be far off from the day, will it, that the initial fight back in MSG, it got pulled, didn't it, due to Jones's injury.
Yeah.
They completely rearranged top end of that card, didn't they? I mean, they pulled that fight off. They brought Yuri Prochazka and Arman Poatan-Pereira in, and then they also give Arman a chance. Tom Aspinall against Pavlovich. So to think that were a year back, I mean, wow, does time fly? What an event it turned out to be anyway. There's been a lot of back and forth, let's say, over the last year. A lot of shit getting talked on socials and across internet and UFC chat, Dana White chat, you name it chat. People are saying there's ducks flying around, there's fucking shit.
Well, then let's hit that straight off. Do you think John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall? And I think ducking's a strong word, isn't it? But where do you stand on that? What do you think is going through his head, from your opinion?
We said on a previous podcast, I actually think, and you and Rich disagreed, I think that if he comes through unscathed, he will be fighting Tom Aspinall. Winner of this will probably fight Tom Aspinall. Dana White's come out recently and said that as well. Whether it's wishful thinking on his part, or whether he's needing to make bigger matchups moving forward. I mean,
you think that's going to happen despite all bump that's coming out with John dismissing him? Seems to be dismissing him, saying that he's not worthy of a shot against him yet, even though he's interim champion, which sounds absolutely bizarre. You think it's going to happen either way? Well yeah,
I think it's pretty much. I revert back to an interview. He was in Australia a few months back on John Jones, and he said to a guy, "If I come through that fight unscathed, I will probably fight on." Now he's saying it could be the last fight. It's mind games, it's politics.
And it's promotion purposes as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he'll tell everybody one thing, and maybe it happens all the time in fight games, doesn't it? I'm not fighting. Oh, there's another couple of million. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll fight. But what I was saying last time to you and Rich was, it's his ego, isn't it? You're telling me that if he demolishes Stipe at weekend, or he beats Stipe and comes through unscathed, you're telling me he's going to walk away if he's pretty much injury free. There's no chance in my book he's doing that. There's not a chance. How could he walk away from that with his ego? And there'd always be like a question mark over that fight, won't there?
Yeah. So do you think?
It's not like Aspinall's just burst onto the scene in the last 6 months. He's beat 6 out at last 10. He's got one blemish on his record against Curtis Blades when he injured his knee. Rematch, he absolutely annihilated him in a round. John Jones was saying he was going to get beat. I think there's a lot of mind games, there's a lot of bullshit going back and forth between them.
Well, at this stage of in his UFC career, he's further on than John Jones was when he got his shot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So he's talking a bit of knackers there. So do you reckon all this bump that's coming out, do you reckon it could be more possibly he's already promoting that fight rather than he's just dismissing him?
It won't surprise me, yeah. It won't surprise me.
Yeah, it just might be just getting started early because, he's clearly confident about getting through this weekend and, which John Jones is going to be. And so does it seem is everybody else. Are people sleeping on Stipe Miocic a bit? Because this guy, he's all-time heavyweight UFC fighter, double champ, most consecutive wins, most performance bonuses. John Jones has only had one fight at heavyweight, man. Is everybody? I know he hasn't fought for a long time, but he's got some incredible wins.
Even when you've just said that, then is people sleeping on him, and I genuinely think they are. I would guess 85% of people, maybe even 90%, would say that John Jones had a white flow of him, which is absolutely mental to say that. When you look at the most decorated heavyweight that UFC's ever seen, most title defenses. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion. If he wins this, he'd be 3-time heavyweight champion. It's insane, isn't it?
On him a bit too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think John Jones is favourite to win it, but he hasn't exactly been active himself, has he? And like you say, he's coming back off a pretty nasty shoulder injury, and no one seems to be speaking about Stipe Miocic at all. He doesn't even seem to be in conversation, does he? And I'm sure he might be enjoying that. He might be saying, "I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to get on with my work. And I'm going to turn up at night and I'm going to give it my best shot to try and take out this ultimate legend that is John Jones." But I just find it strange that nobody's talking about him, obviously because he's Jones.
I agree. There's a few people that are. I know Ariel Owani, he's got a huge podcast, hasn't he? He's absolutely huge around these parts. And he said, I think it was last week I heard him say that it's pretty much in his eye a 50-50 fight. Stipe's resume is absolutely unbelievable. He's beat everybody who's to beat at heavyweight, as did John Jones at light heavyweight. John Jones, people would argue, I mean, it's not an argument really. John Jones is best MMA fighter of all time in most people's eyes.
Yeah.
But he's relatively untested at heavyweight. I mean, when he fought Cyril Gane, the
problem with that is it's not relatively untested in fucking medical room, is it? That's the fucking problem with that.
Yeah. That's we watched here, and we were saying the longer it stays on feet, the better chance Gane's got. And he made it look easy against Gane. I mean, Stipe Miocic is a different breed to Cyril Gane, mate. He's good in nearly every aspect of the game. He's got one punch knockout. He's got wrestling. He's got the lot. He's much more all-rounded than Cyril Gane is. More experience, title defences. He's a different breed to Cyril Gane, is Stipe.
Yeah. Cyril Gane's he's starting to look like he's a one-trick guy, like, isn't he? But
he's starting to look like a movie star, isn't he? Which he's probably turned out to be.
Yeah. Well, I hear it pays well, so good luck to him. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if this fight came, when was Stipe's last fight? Was it 2021? I'm sure if this fight came in 2022, and it was still after a relatively recent Stipe fight, then he would be being considered more. But it's very hard to judge once you've been out at ring for knocking on 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years, yeah. But John Jones in that time has had one fight at heavyweight, so if it want these, it's an hard one to judge anyway, isn't it? If you look at stature of these two, they're both legends. They're both legends in their own weight division. They're both greatest of all time and best heavyweight of all time. It's an hard one to judge in sense of they haven't been active, have they? Neither of them. One's had one fight in 4 years and one hasn't fought for 4 years.
Tell you what, though, I'd have thought Jones would have, started looking a bit leaner by now, but he still looks that bulky self, and he still looks like the Jones to me that's sort of been out of cage for a bit. And I know it doesn't always work like that. He's a technically great wrestler and stuff like that. It's not all about him being ripped, but I would have thought he'd have been looking a bit more ready for someone like Stipe at this point.
Yeah, I would. But I think against Gane, he looked fleshy, didn't he? So I think he's looking better Nick than that. But Stipe is one for me. What are you going to get with him? I mean, he's 42 years old. It's like,
I think this is definitely going to be it for him. We can't see him doing anything else after this.
I would be shocked. Again, there were an interview a few days back, and they were saying, "What are you going to do? Surely you must know win all." And he's like, "No, I've got no idea." But
I'll say that, if he wins, obviously. I mean, that's me assuming he's going to lose again. I think if he loses, I think he does ride off into the sunset. There's nothing there left for him, is there? But if he wins, he might fancy Tom Aspinall himself, man.
I've got a question for you. Do you think at last minute, Aspinall's already said, "I'll fight you on an hour's notice," and I believe him as well. I think he's that confident at the minute. I think he'd fight either of them.
He'll have trained for this. I mean, especially with vulnerability of them two, with the fitness and stuff like that. You never know when that call's going to come to you.
Do you think they'd take it, though?
It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I'm not exactly all favourite rules around all that. If they offer replacement, because Dana's announced him as the official backup, hasn't he? So surely it must have been written into their contract that they have to fight him if all happens.
I can remember years ago, like heavyweight John Jones. I think he should have fought. Or Chael Sonnen stepped in. You know what Chael Sonnen used to be like with his motor mouth. He said, "I'll fight you," and he stepped in. I don't know if it was Rampage or Rashad Evans or something like that pulled out. And he says, "Oh, I'll step in." And Jones said, "No," straight away. No time to prepare. So he's an ultimate professional in that way. And I know he does look into fighters
prepares for that specific fighter.
Yeah, that on and that style more. But I'm not sure if he's. I mean, I'm not sure now. I don't know what happened. If last minute Stipe pulls out, do you think Aspinall's going to fight? Because you know what, UFC, they might make that happen or try, but really they'd rather that not happen and just promote a full camp. You know what I mean? Full media. Yeah, Aspinall on one of these two.
This fight is still going to be big for UFC fans, especially US ones. You know what I mean? It's probably a little bit more so over here because we're all in Tom's corner and stuff like that. I'm wanting that to get on with, to happen sooner rather than later. But this is going to be a huge fight, like I said, particularly for US audience. And they'll want this fight to happen without a shadow of a doubt. And like you say, then they can give a full promotional whack with John Jones all over again in another fight, or with Stipe, for sure.
Another thing, so it's been a year since this got pulled, yeah. So last November, everyone's had a say on it. You know, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every journalist, every UFC guy, everyone's had a talk. Now it's getting closer. Every fucker's going to tune in, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
They were saying, "Oh, it should have been Aspinall, pull it, and all this." I just think that really, what they should have done is made Aspinall interim the real champion, and then maybe have this as an interim. And then the winner could have fought Aspinall, doing it that way around. But you also understand why they've let Jones keep it.
Yeah, it's another respect to them and stuff like that, and for what they've done over years for both these fighters, not just John Jones. And we know Dana White absolutely loves Jones, and for good reason. You know what I mean? He's not done bad over years. So it's I can understand it. It's just frustrating as a British MMA fan because we want Tom Aspinall to be getting in there, don't we? Because he looks ready. He looks ready to fucking go.
Oh, he's in his prime, isn't he? You can see his prime. Yeah.
We've been shouting from rooftops since we started doing this about this guy, and it looks like his chance is going to come. I think for me today, as we record this, London show's been announced in March next year. It'd be interesting. I certainly know that John Jones won't turn it round for March next year, but it'll be interesting to see if Tom Aspinall's on that card, having another fight between now and then. I suppose that might depend on how these fighters get through this fight, won't it?
I'd have a funny feeling though, because I think with the heights that Aspinall's reaching now, they might even try to keep him out. It wasn't so long ago he was in Manchester. Would they want him in Vegas, or would they want him in Middle East? I hopefully he is, and hopefully we'll get to go to it. But I've got a funny feeling that they'll probably stick Paddy as maybe Leon Edwards or something like that. There's plenty of British
to see. I think Dana would go for Paddy over Leon for main card.
Yeah,
even Moicano, that'd be nice.
I think sells, doesn't it?
Yeah, would. I think he's got a good chance to get up there because, like we say, if Tom's next fight is the winner of this weekend, it's going to be in America and it's not going to be in the UK.
Do you know what? You know what would happen if both of these retired after this? If you look at
the fight for vacant belt,
they ain't a great deal at heavyweight. That's what I was arguing with Rich about that a few months ago.
I think Pereira would get called. I think Alex Pereira would get called.
Yeah, I do.
But apart from him, that motherfucker saying yes.
Apart from him, he's pretty much demolished everybody in heavyweight division already. And you've got John Jones saying he's not proved now. He's finished 6 or 7 at top 10 division, heavyweight division. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of outlets have been putting out all stats since then of what Aspinall's done in this short time he's been in UFC compared to John at same stage, and it's fair to say that Aspinall's further along. You know what I mean? He's interim champion for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? And as we say, the depth of this heavyweight division is not that great looking into top 15, and he's wiped out pretty much all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, Stipe hasn't even fought any of them since last time he had a fight. None of them were even in there.
Yeah,
and Jones
he's ranked number 8, Stipe.
He's number 8 at the moment, yeah. How the fuck he's managed to keep a ranking's mad, isn't it? I mean, but that shows it's credit to him, innit, and what he's done in past, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Mick Parkin, sorry, why are you talking about top 15 ranked heavyweights? Mick Parkin's been ranked at 15.
He has.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Parkin getting himself into the top 15. Another British fighter in top 15 rank, isn't it? Following Paddy himself, getting himself into the top 15 earlier on this year as well. It's looking good. I mean, obviously we've lost Mo Mokaev out of there, but I don't know. There's some good fighters. Arnold Allen's still going in there strong. We've got some good ranked fighters, mate, and it should be a good card in London. To be fair, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it certainly will.
Although I do believe, looking at the times, I'm going to be flying over fucking halfway around the world at time while it's being broadcast, so it's going to be a pain in the ass. Hopefully, Fly Emirates will have that on for me to watch while I'm coming back from New Zealand.
Hopefully, by then there's enough money in pot that me and Rich can go.
Yeah, we'll all watch it over in New Zealand as well.
No, I mean I'll go to London and watch it.
All right, no, fuck that way from you bastards. Anyway, that's by the by. Less of our personal lives. Nobody gives a shit about that, mate. So we'll go. We'll talk about who we think's going to come out on top from all fights at end. So we'll move on to co-main event at the moment. It's been umming and ahhing since there were rumours that Charles Oliveira were dropping out of this fight a couple of weeks ago. We thought they were looking for a new opponent for Michael Chandler. And if that had happened and they didn't find one for him, that would have been a pain in the ass, because Chandler seems like he's been waiting around just as long as Stipe Miocic has to have a fight, doing all the stuff with Conor McGregor, waiting for that payday that never happened. But it's happening as we stand, as we record. It is happening. Charlie Olive's coming up again against Michael Chandler. Already beat him once, of course. Chandler getting back into Octagon. Looking at this, I reminded myself about Chandler's record in UFC, mate. He's only had 5 fights in UFC. He's only won 2. He's lost 3. He's already had 1 title fight. He was getting McGregor fight. Has he got Dana White privilege, Michael Chandler?
Well, Sugar Show ain't got it anymore, so no.
He needs someone to take it up. Yeah.
You know what? He come with a massive reputation, Chandler.
Bellator, he did.
Yeah, he was a champion, Bellator champion. He came in. If you look at his resume, I mean, everybody's thought's been elite, top end. And I tell you what, he's had bonuses, he's had fight at nights, he's had knockout nights.
Pretty much every single one of his fights, he gets a fight at night bonus or a performance bonus. And it very rarely goes to a decision. He either knocks out or gets knocked out, doesn't he? That's what we want to see as fans, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what did he to Tony Ferguson?
Yeah.
He never recovered from that, as you Tony.
Oh yeah, that what beginning and end for Ferguson. I think it was that picture of Chandler's foot hitting him in the face where he looked like Moses, like had been hit by a truck or something like that.
Yeah, going back to Chandler, I just think he's a brilliant fighter, isn't he? He comes out like a bat out of hell.
I love watching him. He's good.
Oh man, he's diamond to watch. He's beautiful to watch.
I mean, that him and McGregor would have been great, right? To be fair.
Yeah, it would.
Whether I don't ever going to happen, but I mean, like you say, he has fought entertaining fighters, hasn't he? You know, he's fought Dustin.
He's fought Poirier, Gaethje. He's fought Dan Hooker. He beat Dan Hooker in round 1. I mean, look what Dan Hooker was in. When was that? I'm just looking now. 2021, so it was a while back.
That was his debut.
Look at run Dan Hooker's been on since.
Yeah, he's low key.
Oliveira. You look Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier, Ferguson at one time with a man at lightweight. The only Khabib was ahead of him, and they were in line to fight 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Every person he's fought has been absolutely elite, and that lightweight division, like we've said many a times on here, it's gold, that lightweight division. I mean, top 10. I mean, even them a little bit lower, they're absolute murderers, aren't they? That's been like that for a long time. So for him to come in his first fight in 2021 and really, yeah, he's got 3 defeats, 2 victories. But I mean, I think that first fight, I watched it back again today, bits of it, clips. He had him in all sorts of trouble. Charlie Olives, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had him in first round and he nearly finished. He went back to the corner of his corner and was saying, "Come on, you've got him here." And he went out.
He nearly take him in round 1.
Yeah, he ended up getting stopped himself. So he's always in a good. You'd watch. He's the kind of guy you'd pay to watch. Absolutely. Because it's always an unbelievable scrap with him.
And there's no shame in losing to Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira. Really is, I mean, we're talking elite guys here.
For sure.
In the elite competition, and I like Chandler. He's like I say, he's entertaining to watch. He's entertaining out at Octagon as well. And
I mean, how old is he?
It seems like a decent guy. It's been a shame because he was really active before this old Conor McGregor stuff. It's been a shame that we haven't been able to see him because he's not getting any younger. You know, he'd probably had 4 or 5 fights in this time he's been waiting for McGregor, wouldn't it, to be honest?
Yeah,
him, like.
He said, well, from what I saw, I watched something a few days back again, and he was saying that, you know, they're all, oh, well, his old father time catching up on you. You've been unactive, waiting for McGregor. He said, what have you been doing? He said, well, I've been training. I'm in tip-top condition. I've just had family time. I don't feel like I've been missing out, really, as such. But I'm not sure on that, really. The more active a guy at an high level, I mean, it goes a long way, that activity, doesn't it?
It does until it doesn't, it?
It's funny that we're saying that out of the main event and the co-main, 3 of them, I think, have fought once a piece in space of like 4 years.
Yeah, between
and like,
and that's John Jones.
Yeah, that's John Jones, Stipe, and Chandler. And you're just thinking, see, really, you're not sure what you're going to get from him in that sense, are you?
You're not, and you know, he's up against an absolute beast in Charles Oliveira. He's one of our favourite fighters. We enjoy watching him as well. He's a great fighter, and you know, he's having a bit of a wobble. I think his peak were a couple of years ago when he were taking out Poirier and Gaethje and Chandler himself first time round. That was Charles' peak when he got his shot against Islam and stuff like that, which were a bit disappointing for him. And a lot of people thought he'd do a bit better against Islam Makhachev, but you know, Islam's top draw. Yeah. He's having a bit of a wobble. You know, lost to Islam, beat Beneil, but then lost to Arman Sarukian, who's again another guy that's on his way up there. Where do you think Charlie Olives is at the minute? Do you think he's on his way down, or do you think he's trying to get himself back to that title shot?
I would probably argue he's on his way down, but then again, I'm not sure what you're going to get from Chandler, because you could even argue he's on his way down. What age of him, inactivity? It's an hard one to judge, I think, as a fight and what you're going to get from these guys, really. You'd have to say, I think Charlie Olives is a slight favourite. I'm really not sure, to be honest. Usually when you look at these fighters and you look at who they've fought recently and styles of them, I don't think Charlie Olives can be a champion again, put it that way.
No.
Similar to Poirier, I think really below Islam there's a bit of a gap.
Unless Islam moves up to welter and vacates.
Yeah.
I don't
see any of them dethroning Islam Makhachev. Sarukian, they had a fight that they fought before, and that was super close. But all these others who are elite in their own way, they've all kind of fought each other. They're kind of legends, aren't they?
You reckon it's going to take Ilia Topuria to dethrone Islam Makhachev?
Yeah, it won't surprise me. I don't think any of these guys will. Sarukian, if Sarukian can't stop him, nobody will stop him.
Paddy.
Yeah. Scousers don't get knocked out.
They get fucking choked out.
You know, they get.
Sorry, Shem. No, they don't. I'd love for Paddy to take belt off Islam there. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's a road we don't need to be going down. But
what about Paddy and Moicano? I've just called him a coffee, haven't I, Moicano?
Yeah, you have, yeah. What about that lad, that Renato Cappuccino?
Who's that, his cousin?
Yeah, that's him, man. No, it'd be a good fight. I'd like Paddy to get that fight. It'd be a great fight for Paddy as well, to take himself into top 10 from top 15. Moicano clearly wants that fight for his payday. As we mentioned just a little bit earlier on this podcast, that as a main event or a co-main event in London, I can see happening very much so, and I hope for one it does, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
Paddy wants that steam. Moicano wants that steam. All fans, I think, can be up for it. Paddy's redeemed himself a bit with a great win over Bobby Green after everybody jumped on him, which I always thought were a bit harsh.
That was it. That was insane when Bobby Green tried jumping on Paddy and taking him down, the stupid fucker.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Honestly, we had Shamrock on a few weeks ago. I wanted to ask him about that.
No, yeah. That would have been nice.
Honestly, I had it written down and everything. You know,
Well, he just said same as what I said, but in a different accent. To be honest, what was he thinking? It was an absolute mental decision from Bobby Green. But
what I like about this fight you just mentioned is we were going around as well, and it made a lot of sense. Win or lose for both of them guys, Paddy and Green, and Moicano and French guy Benoit Saint-Denis. I mean, how good were he against Benoit Saint-Denis? I mean, that was an incredible performance. Were saying previous to that win or history between them two, back and forth, and how good a fight it'd sell that. And you could definitely headline a fight night or whatever. Maybe one in Vegas, maybe one over here. It made so much sense for these two, either way.
Sell press conference as a fight night, mate.
Oh, yeah. But now they've both won anyway. It's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, where's he ranked as well? Is Paddy?
Moicano's around 7 or 8 now, mate. So it's a great fight for Paddy. That Moicano doesn't need to be looking down at number 15, but he fancies that fight, doesn't he? He says he's not here for money. He says he's only here for money. Sorry, he's not. He says he don't give a fuck about titles and that. He says he wants to get paid. Does Moicano, and he sees Paddy as a bit of a cash cow. So why the hell not?
That is definitely a fight to make in that division.
Absolutely, and I think it will.
That will probably headline London. You know.
Do you reckon? If Tom's not fighting, then I think it will. I can see Paddy headlining over Leon now, unless it's a rematch with Belal after he's pulled out against Shavkat, but I can't see that either.
I'm not sure what they're going to do with Leon now.
Well, it'll be interesting. Maybe stick him up against Ian Gary after his next fight.
Possibly. I just want to see more. I know we're going off a bit here, but I just want to see more of Leon. Around COVID time when they were having title fight after title fight, not back due to COVID. Hamzat pulling out left, right, and centre. Other people pulling out. It was a frustrating time for him. But we were like had half an eye on it then, and you felt sorry for him really. But as he become champion, it was like you just want to see him to kick on and get at least 2 or 3 fights a year in back-to-back years. Obviously, injuries dependent, because you know how good he is. I mean, he gets labelled as boring, but I think the more you watch him, and he's such a technician, is Leon Edwards. I would, as a fan, I'd like to see more of him, see him kick on. I mean, him and Shavkat. I mean, for me, that is an unbelievable fight to make that. Yeah. At some point, obviously, depending how it unfolds,
just the loss against Bilal it was just massively disappointing, wasn't it? You know what I mean? A lot of people weren't expecting it. He looked really good against him in the previous encounter before that ended. And it's a bit disappointing. And I do think it's a bit harsh. I do think it's a bit harsh that they moved on straight away and give Shavkat a shot instead of giving him a rematch. But, Shavkat's man in that division at the moment, and he coming up
Bilal, for one. He gets some stick, Bilal, doesn't he? I mean, he's boring, Bilal. He's never stopped anybody. He's this, he's that. But he outclassed Leon that day.
Did.
Probably partly because Leon wasn't in right space, or he didn't turn up Leon, did he? Let's be honest. But taking nothing away from Bilal, he was outstanding in that fight. Taking nothing away from him.
So I was disappointed, and he's a boring cunt, so fuck it. Anyway, that's another podcast. And we'll talk about one more.
Can you stop threatening? You're threatening bare knuckle lads laugh of the week.
I know, I'm getting a bit too fucking. I'm getting way too big for my boots, isn't it? You don't need to start slagging off fucking killers, do I? You know what I mean?
Rubbing shoulders with McGregor last week. Rubbing shoulders with McGregor last week up in Newcastle. And now you're threatening all cage lads.
Me and my mate Connor, mate, I'm telling you. It's because they're all such nice guys, let's be right. It's because the one thing that stood out from all the fighters are these absolute ugly fucking killers that we keep meeting. Just call them ugly, you know. They're such nice guys, mate, so you feel a bit more comfortable giving banter and stuff like that. But you've got to check yourself sometimes and realise that one false move and I'm getting my head taken clean fucking off. No. We're all awesome fellas.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll
anyway, Bo Nichols, Paul Craig. Let's go Paul Craig instead of fucking Jake Paul. We don't really want to give a shit about that one, do we? Which, and in fact, do you want to touch on that a little bit? And shall we? I'll tell you what, we'll get Bo Nickel and Paul Craig out of the way. Then we'll have a little talk about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and then we'll do one. So Bo Nickel, fourth fight in UFC. One of Dana's little darlings, up against Paul Craig. He's a mad fighter, Paul Craig, and I think we've mentioned it before that his record's weird because, I mean, he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights against people you'd expect him to beat, but he's got wins over people like Ankalaev and Jamal Hill. He's got wins over him as well.
He snapped Jamal Hill's arm in half.
Yeah, which is it's no mean feat, is it? You know, it's not an easy thing to do. So he's got these incredible wins and these bizarre losses when he's coming up against someone who is probably going to be Mr. Consistent in Bo Nickel, someone who you know what you're going to get. He's an all-star American wrestler. He's gonna come up, be Mr. Consistent until he either comes up against a Dagestani who's been practicing on bears, or an ultimate striker that catches him quickly. So it's a tough one for Craig, but you know, I think a lot of people would like to see Bo Nickel get beat. To be fair, what do you think?
I think you're probably right. I don't know what is a Bo Nickel. I mean, he's a bit of American sweetheart. People, he's a bit like Marmite, isn't he? A lot of people absolutely love him, rave about him. I think he's a 3-time national bloody American champion wrestler. Good-looking kid, talks pretty well. You know, he seems to have. He gets a bit of Dana White privilege, so they say. He seems to be full package. I mean, and then you look at. I'm not sure why he gets so much stick really, because he's undefeated. He's got all. I think he's 26. Is he 26, 27? So he's at the right age. I don't know whether I think he's just getting 4 spoon-fed bloody fighters or what. But I mean, you've still got to beat him, and to be fair, he's turned up and beat him. This is his hardest test. I think it's the highest ranked fighter he's fighting in Craig.
Definitely, yeah. He's a couple of introductory fights. Then he got a decent fight against Cody Brundle, UFC 300, which was his last fight out, and he beat him. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a step up here in Paul Craig, and you'd expect him to step up again should he come through this one as easy as he has been coming through others, wouldn't you? You'd expect him to be starting to look at that top 15 by then.
Well, I'm not sure. Where is he ranked, Paul Craig? Do you know off the top of your head? He's ranked in Paul Craig.
No, I've not got it written down, mate. I'm going to have to top of my head now. But yeah, I mean, he's heading for there, Bo Nickel. And if this fight don't get him there, I'll feel like you're looking up there, mate. If this fight don't get him there in top 15, he's definitely going to get there because, like we say, he's looked very good. Gets his unnecessary stick. He is going to be Mr. Consistent, I think. So it's inevitable that he's going to get into top echelons.
Yeah,
but whether he can get all the way to the top's another question altogether, isn't it?
I think actually, because I think one of the biggest parts of it with him is, he would call after like 2 fights in, he was saying, "Look, I'm a better guy than Hamza. I'll destroy Hamza." And people are thinking, "Wait a minute here, you know what I mean? You're jumping over your station a bit here. I mean, calm down. You've had a couple of fights in UFC." Hamza,
I think he's backed up again recently about Hamza again as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could argue, is he a better straight up wrestler than Hamza? And probably his credentials are. I mean, Hamza was a Swedish national champion. This guy's a 3-time.
Not as crazy as it, though, is it? That's
yeah, he's not running around with Kosovo Mafia and all this lot, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, is Hamza such a big star in America? Do you think? Is he? I think he probably is, isn't he?
Well, I would have thought so. Yeah, I mean, he'll certainly be getting there if he's not there already. He's a charming motherfucker. He's Hamza Chimaev, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But
seems to charm.
I think when you look at Paul Craig, though, Paul Craig's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. And again, I heard him say something last week on an interview. He was saying, "You know what? He's good, this guy I'm fighting, but I've still got something in me left." He said, and I'm thinking, it all doesn't sound right. That when you're coming out with that type of stuff, you're thinking, do you really believe that, Paul?
Yeah.
Because
so that's something left a couple of more paydays, maybe.
Yeah, and I tell you what, odds against him. I think he's like 12-1 against.
Is he that big?
He's a massive favourite, Bo Nickel. And I think probably, I mean, can you remember, it was last year, wasn't it? Last October, we saw Paul Craig in Manchester. Can you remember he was at
December last year.
Bisbing's do, yeah. And he was a nice guy, wasn't he? He comes across really well. He was a funny guy, actually. Broad Scotsman. I don't think that, again, I think he's probably, I don't want to say he's done. It's disrespectful to say he's done. But
yeah,
I would not be fancying his chances in this. Because if he can't get him down, then I can just see Bo Nickel taking him down. And even on feet, I think he's a much better striker. I think he's got a better striking, Bo Nickel, as well, than Craig.
Yeah, his second won by punches KO. He looked well, didn't he? Because nobody had really seen that.
Yeah, he did.
In UFC, especially, like they've not seen him using his hands as well as that. But yeah, he got a good knockout there. Certainly did. All right, so let's go through a couple of predictions for them 3 fights. And I think it's pretty obvious that we both think Bo Nickel is going to come through that fight. So,
would you say by stopping? Do you think he'll stop him though, Bo Nickel, or do you think
that's what I'm going to? Let's go a bit deeper into it. I'm going to go second round stoppage.
Yeah, I can see, but I'm not sure what round. I can see Bo Nickel stopping him ground and pound. It won't surprise me if he caught him and as he was going down, got on top of him or whatever, and ground and pound.
Choke him out. Second round for me. Choke him out. Charlie Olives, Michael Chandler. I would say it's a tough one to call. Go on, I'll let you go first.
I think Oliveira subs him.
Yeah, like last time. No, punches last time.
Yeah, he knocked him out last time. Yeah, I'll TKO'd him.
Punched him around ring, didn't he? Kept following him.
Again, we keep saying that inactivity thing. He's an hard one to predict this because, like we said, first fight, he had a lot of success, Chandler, didn't he? He very closely got him out there in the first round. His corner was saying it. You've got him here. He's fucked. He's on his last legs. But it's going to be close. It's a good fight, this, but it's hard to judge Chandler. If he's been out, he's barely fought again, has he? So it's like, but yeah. Anyway, to prediction, I'm sticking with Oliveira sub.
Yeah. You know what? Because I know which way this is going to go. So I'm going to go. Chandler's going to catch him early on, first round knockout.
What, and then call McGregor out?
Early on, catch him. Yeah, I think he's been training for 3 years. He's going to have all this pent up aggression. This fucking lack of cage time is going to make him explode like he does anyway. And he's going to catch an aging Charlie Olives and fucking take him out in round one. Is what I'm going to go for. Just because I need to mix it up a bit because I know exactly what's going to happen now when we predict John Jones and Stipe Miocic. So, where do we think that's going to be won?
Yeah, it's Stipe stoppage first round.
Yeah. Yeah, rear naked choke.
If you take away all nonsense with this, if you take away how long they've been out at Octagon, the inactivity of them both, if you look at like the styles of them both, I mean, who's got more power, Stipe? Wrestling, you'd have to say like MMA wrestling, John Jones probably, but I don't think it's as if we're saying that 85-90% of people are saying Jones is going to win. I won't. If I were leaning my money towards one way on them odds, there's no. I won't quite have it as wide as that. Would you?
No, definitely.
That makes sense. What I was saying. If you get what I'm trying to say, it's a lot close. What I'm trying to say, it's a hell of a lot closer than people are making out this. Stipe, he's finished legends in first round. Stipe. And again, there's another way of looking at it. He hadn't fought in 4 years. That means he's fully healed up, doesn't it? He might be a little bit rusty, say, and he probably won't be as sharp as other guys that are fully active and 2 or 3 fights a year. But as an heavyweight, he must have been carrying injuries, and I bet he'll be injury free.
Oh, absolutely.
Having said all that, I'm also trying to think is how John Jones going to finish it, because John Jones has not got. Maybe some of these newbies have never even seen John Jones fight. He's one of the greatest of all time, but you've never seen him knock somebody out of one, but he ain't got that type of power.
It's not his game, is it? No, it's not what he's been doing for the last fucking 10 years or so. He's not going
to. And he was untested against Garn, big time.
No, yeah, he made it look easy. And
yeah, you know what I can see. What I can see happening is my prediction. I can see Jones probably stopping him ground and pound again.
Yeah.
I think he'll take him down. It won't surprise me if he stopped him with ground and pound.
How long into the fight do you reckon?
Maybe third round.
Sounds reasonable. I mean, I'm torn. I'm not on who I think he'll win. I think Jones will get it done. I don't know. I want to be honest. I want James Jones to keep his legacy. I want him to fight Aspinall, but I just think it'd be a great little turn up for Bucks if Miocic just fucking turned up and got the win. Just to piss everybody in the world off. You know what I mean?
And then he sticks around and flattens Tom Aspinall.
Yeah. Fucks off to PFL and does Francis. Yeah, why not?
What, 45?
We got the fact that we got carried away like that straight away says how much we do. It's probably not going to happen, but I just think at this moment, I just think I'd prefer that to happen now for some reason. Just blow everybody's mind. Stipe just turns up.
Paper. I've heard nearly everybody say they think Jones is going to win, but I've not heard many people predict out. Because
problem is then though they'll probably fucking give him a rematch, won't they? Dana will give John Jones a rematch, and we'll wait another 3 years. Can Aspinall retire before these two fuckers?
Yeah, and they'll put Chandler McGregor on undercard.
Yeah, of course they will.
2031.
Anyway, with them 3 fights on there, it should be a great night. We'll do a little shout out to Oban Elliott, the Welsh lad who's on prelims. He's 2-0 so far at UFC. Keep an eye out for his progress. Hopefully he does well as well. There's plenty of other fights on there for you all to catch up on. And yeah, that sort of rounds up this little preview show. Do you want a little word on Tyson and Jake Paul? Do you think that's already decided?
No, I don't think it's already decided, but again, do you?
Yeah, the cynical side of thinks it is.
I hope not, mate. I really hope not. This is another
we all know Mike Tyson just steams into him and fucking kills him, but I don't see Tyson winning.
Will you be watching it? Yeah, are we watching this event? We're waking up and we're watching it, aren't we?
I've never watched a Jake Paul fight, mate. I've seen the highlights and that, but I've never paid and watched one and stuff like that. But I mean, listen, the kid's a boxing hard, isn't he? He trains all day, fucking every day. He's got no else to do. He's got a fuck ton of money. He's training boxing all the time. He's a decent fighter. It's just a fucking bit of a joke with people he fights, retired MMA fighters or 60-year-old Michael Tyson's, mate. You know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? But it is what it is. He's cashing in. And we all know Tyson's financial fucking problems over years. I don't know what he's like at the moment, but you weren't surprised if fucking he'd said take a jump for fucking 20 million quid. Tyson's gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, why not? But,
I think he's got acres and acres of weed farms and hotels and golf courses, Tyson now. So I think
I don't think he's in trouble anymore, is he? I mean, he looks sharp. Them training videos, man, he looks sharp. He really does. But has he got a tank? You know what I mean? If you don't take him out in the first 10 seconds, is he going to be blowing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It remains to be seen. I'm not even. Again, how the fuck would you predict that? Absolutely no chance. I mean, it's no idea, to be honest with you. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah, and it might be, even if it's not predetermined, it might be scripted to a certain extent. I don't know. But anyway, enough of Mickey Mouse boxing. Let's stick to real guns, mate. Anyway, always a pleasure, Johnson. We'll continue to look for Richard, and if we do find him, we'll let everybody know as well. And
people are worried about him, aren't they?
No. Only kidding, Rich. Of course, yeah. But at least he's not rattling on your fucking window this week while we're trying to record.
Oh, there you go, mate.
Right, okay, let's bounce. Well, hopefully it'll be a good old weekend. We'll.
Are we going to do? I spoke to our Lithuanian mate a few hours back, and we were saying if we are going to watch it live, we were going to do maybe a little 5-minute, 10-minute fucking review of it. Possibly.
We could possibly even venture into doing a bit of streaming while it's on live, but who knows? We'll see. We'll decide that before weekend. All right, then. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take note of the banner going across the bottom. Please do all your likes and subscribes and tell everybody you know to, because, you know, it's better for us and better for you when we can keep coming and bringing stuff. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you later.